Great to see you today. First of all, this latest bit of news that Trump, who'd been talking about maybe the land swap and what that would take, he's going to back out, according to the French President Macron. Let them work this out. Your thoughts?
Well, Harris, good morning. Thanks for having me on. Look, it'll be interesting. That's President Macron's readout. We'll see what actually was said. Always a word of caution with people spinning after meetings. But importantly, what's going to happen in 48 hours is President Trump is going to have the advantage of the leverage that he has as a result of all the things he's done, not only in the last 6 months, but in his first term, too. Vladimir Putin understands that pressure will be continued to ratchet on him. The costs will begin to exceed the benefits. In the same way that President Trump deterred him in the first term, I'm confident that President Trump will deliver a message to Putin saying, look, you got to wrap this up. You got to get to a ceasefire. There are lots of complex issues about security arrangements in the post-war aftermath, but we got to get this ceasefire done. President Trump has kind of lowered expectations, but we'll see. I think they'll make some progress, and I don't think Vladimir Putin will stiff Donald Trump on Friday.
Look, you can make a lot of people angry when you ask this type of a question because everybody's already picked where they feel about the issues, whatever. But do you trust either one of these men to get this done? I mean, even Zelensky, when he was in the White House, talking about rare earth minerals, yeah, deal, and then not a deal. Like, how do you work with two sides who hate each other, at war, but also have to figure out, well, where's the truth?
Yeah, Harris, this is the history of conflict, of war, right? We know this. We've seen this so many times. And in the end, the reason you have conversations like the one on Friday is because you have to negotiate a solution or get total defeat. There is no evidence that either side can defeat the other in that sense of the totality, that Putin can get to Kyiv or that Ukraine can get all of their land back. And so there will be a negotiated solution. There'll be a compromise. Neither of them has seen it in their best interest to do so. To date, President Trump is beginning to set the conditions, I think, that can deliver that ceasefire and deliver a good outcome for America.
All right, real quickly, former leader of the CIA, you've done a lot of things in your career. I'm curious to know, have you met Putin yourself?
I have. I've spent a fair amount of time with President Putin. He is an evil guy. He's a bad actor. You can't believe a darn thing he says. And so it's about actions, not words. But I think Putin also knows his economy is beginning to really struggle because of President Trump and the sanctions he's put in place. This will create the leverage needed to get where President Trump wants to get.
Does it help to be in the room? The president says he'll know in 2 minutes whether or not this deal can get done and there can be a ceasefire Friday after talking to Putin.
I remember being in Hanoi with President Trump when we met with Chairman Kim. In 2 minutes, we knew that we weren't going to get there. I'm confident President Trump, whether it's 2 minutes or 5, President Trump will walk away pretty clearly understanding Putin's red lines.
Mike Pompeo, great to have you in focus. Thank you.
Thank you, Harris. Bless you. Have a good day.
Bless you.